Hi guys, Blake here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Friday, September the 3rd, and I'm going to do the one cast for you today. So today I've boated up here. I am right next to Lookout Island. I'm actually spot locked in the eddy water here where it's nice and calm. But I am going to venture over there into the current very shortly and gonna drag a jerkbait today. Today I'm working with a few different ones I got rigged up, but the one we're going to start with is the 762 model, and I think that's the Ghost Perch, I think is what it's called. It's kind of gold, got little black stripes on it. I've got that on a size 12 barrel swivel or snap swivel with a 1/8 ounce weight to a size 12 barrel swivel, 4-pound leader, about 2.5 foot of it down to my jerkbait. Got the belly hook taken off, and it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They actually turned the water on kind of early today at 1, maybe even just a little bit before. So the water's been running for about an hour now. Down by the dock, water was still kind of trashy. But this water up here looks pretty decent. Normally, when I get to come out and do this, it's right at the evening when they're shutting the water down. I haven't got to get up here and try dragging a jerkbait during the middle of the day when the water just starts running. So that'll be a little different. And I'm also going to start all the way up here at the island and go all the way to the Narrows. But the schedule said that they were running 70 to start off with, but I think that they cranked it up to about a full 3 units here. We're gonna get out here in the current and get to drifting for a second. I have sometimes in the past done really well in this chute right in between the island and Point Royale. The water's kind of tricky here though. It does a few different things. You got that flat where the water comes shooting off of, and then you've got this eddy which swirls over here, and it can really do some funny things to the bait when you're trying to drag it. Phil came out to do the one cast actually just a little bit ago when the water was still off. He said he got all the way up here and forgot the camera. So, and here's that funny stuff I was talking about. Okay, not sure exactly what happened. All I know is the camera went to some kind of shutter picture mode there. So anyway, I was saying that I should have waited to make my first cast until I got around that little corner there, because the way the current is there, it just really pulls the bait sideways. So nothing officially on the first cast. Let's see. I only got a couple reports for today. Not too many guides on the lake this morning, but Darren Sadler, Captain Darren Sadler, was on the lake this morning with some clients, and he said that they got him to bite the micro jig but couldn't get him to stick to it, and the only thing they could find fish on was night crawlers. And that's honestly the only reports I have today. We had somebody else who rented a boat this morning come back and say that they caught a few on night crawlers, but so far the consensus seems to be that it is tough fishing. Oh, I almost threw my phone in the water. And I may have been wrong about the water being clean up here. I am picking up a significant amount of trash pretty immediately here. Unfortunately, dragging the jerkbait is a good method, except for when there's too much trash. It gets stuck to the bill of that bait and pretty much makes it null and void. Oh. Phil said he caught one nice fish above the narrows on a scud on the fly rod. And then he said they kicked the water on and he drifted a mega worm, caught a couple more fish and had a couple more bites. So that was it. It's a really pretty day here. The sun actually just popped out for the first time today. It has been cloudy all day, which is, I was hoping it was going to stay cloudy, but of course not. And I am really finding the trash here. But I'd say it's still no more than 85 degrees, even with the sun popping out here today. It was a nice, like 70 degrees this morning. So the problem right now isn't necessarily moss on the bottom. It is the moss that's floating in the middle section of the water, getting caught on the line, running down the line into the jerkbait. Let's see, what other reports do I have? I went night fishing on a Wednesday night and fished a streamer on the fly rod, and I fished for 3 hours and didn't catch a fish. It was a rough go. I talked to Darren Sadler this morning, and he said he's got some buddies that go fish streamers at night up at the dam too, and they said that the last week's worth of nights has also been really rough. I don't know to account it towards low dissolved oxygen, or I don't know. But even the night fishing has been a little slow. Well guys, I think at this point would probably be a time where I would switch to something else. This jerkbait's really just picking up all the moss and the floating in the water right now. I can see it running down my line right in front of me. And if you can't get that jerkbait to present properly down there for long enough, then you probably won't catch a fish on it. So this would probably be a good time to go to dragging a scud. Oh my gosh. Or an egg fly pattern. I was really hoping it had been enough time that the junk in the water had cleared up, but I was definitely wrong. You could go to even putting a scud under an indicator, but with the amount of water they're flowing right now, you'd probably have to you'd have to have a lot of leader, 12, 13 foot of leader at least, and a big indicator and a decent amount of split shot. That almost felt like a bite. I'm going to scoot a little farther over to the center of the lake here and just see if I can avoid some of this trash. Sometimes, actually I should say more of the time, the trash will actually float towards the channel, because that's where the water is moving the fastest. And it'll kind of push and congregate over there, so maybe I can find some water that's not so trashy over here on this side. Well, if you want to try this method in the afternoon, maybe wait more like 2 hours before you come up here. Really give that trash a chance to clear out. Yep, I'm just doing nothing but picking up trash here. Well, I think I have a scud rig set up on one of those rods. Let's try that. Alright, I do. So, we've got a size 12 gray scud on a $200 hook there, followed by a size 12 UV gray, 1/8 ounce weight, about 4 foot a leader, 4 pound. With this almost 4 units running, this 1/8 ounce weight should be just about right. Well, it's starting to look like it doesn't matter what I throw in the water. There's just a lot of moss. It's unfortunate. So I didn't have any moss on my flies until I did that just now, but the problem was with the moss building up on the weight is you can no longer feel it ticking the bottom. Whenever I fish these, I like to move the rod tip up and down about 4 to 6 inches slowly. It helps add a little bit of action, but there's just too much junk in the water right now to do anything, unfortunately. Oh, well, I wish I could have came out and did this an hour later, but fortunately I got a lot of errands to run after I get off here. I'd have to say that whenever there is trash in the water, I have a lot better luck putting it under an indicator. It doesn't seem to pick up quite as much of that trash as dragging it across the bottom does. Oh man, just immediate moss. Yep, that's just picking up too much. Too much. I'm gonna go back to the jerk bait. This time we'll go with the one they call Magneto. Same model, same setup. We are officially in the Narrows right now. Actually right out in the middle of it, but they are running a bunch of water, so perfectly fine to float over the top of. So each time they turn on another generator, it kicks up that trash again. So if they had bumped it to 71st and then went to 4 units 30 minutes later, it would kick up a new level of moss and stuff off the bottom. So could have been part of my problem today here, but I am getting ready to call this video. Pretty sure all I'm doing is dragging a big old moss wad. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna give up. We thank you guys for watching. Like and share us on Facebook, and we'll get out here and do it again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.